The time is nigh. Open up your eyes to see the signs of the times. Got to be wise to all of their lives. Look to the skies from where my help comes. Wake up, got to wake up from the slumber. Don't let them pull you under. Rise up off the water. Never let them wrestle you into the mud.
Yes, family. Give me a mic check. Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, Empress Wazir Menin. Y'all already know, one perfect balance. Greetings and welcome to Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct, and if we're not correct, feel free to correct us. It's that kind of time, family. It's a magnificent Wednesday, wonderful Wednesday. We're here to touch on a few things. A lot of stuff going on, but like I said, there's a lot of things we're not going to be distracted by, because in reality, that's just basically what they are. For example, by elections. You get it? By elections. By election. So the 14th, you know, I think somebody said to me, when was it, Monday? I think it was Monday. Someone was telling me they can't wait to get this money in their account. They're looking forward to the payout. You know what I mean? They was excited about the whole thing, man. They just couldn't wait to get this money. And I'm thinking, man, I don't know you. I don't know. But anyhow, go tell a friend to tell a friend. Politically Incorrect up and running. What time is it? I know it's, wait, hold on. Let me put my phone. It's 10:10. Wow. Can't make this stuff up, man. I told you supposed to come on at 8 o'clock, Ross. What happened? Well, life, yeah. Let me, I'm trying to get some eyes in the sky, family. Bear with me here. It's Facebook. No, let me do it on Facebook instead. Okay, turn the volume down. Yeah, so we got, there you go, I got it. So we got some news to share. Shocking twist in the Adriana Young situation. Yes, we have a twist, a serious twist. Now, why am I going back to this? Why not focus here in Barbados? Well, I want to connect some dots, so bear with me tonight. We're going to look at that. We got one of the Twitter videos to share. We also got one of the candidates that's in St. James North, speaking about her experience thus far. Yeah, I snatched this from one of the other stations. I'll show it to CBC occasionally. But I want to play it because I think it's important. Like I said, man, I suppose you have to go to the area to find out about the young lady. Shout out to Alex Mitchell, by the way, as well. But we're going to touch on those two things. We ain't going to stay long, but we're going to do some revision tonight. We're going to check on some stuff. So go tell a friend and tell a friend that we up and running. Right now, Barbados and Barbadians and this BLP. I was watching I actually watched it because I saw that it was going to have Tyra on platform tonight. So technically, I had to go and listen to hear what Tyra was going to come with. Let me tell you, man, politics is so... Politics here. Politics. I you know what? I honestly got to tell people this. I mean, don't get me wrong. If this was a BLP DLP situation, we got these two parties. I'm gonna say some stuff tonight that I'm telling you, family, y'all don't want to miss. So stick around, man. So before I get into that politics scenario, let me get to the main thing I want to highlight tonight. Well, one of the main things I definitely want to highlight tonight. And so y'all gonna need, I'm gonna share the link as well. So y'all could go check it out. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Let me go ahead and pull this up. We're not even gonna waste any time. Go tell a friend to tell a friend. Okay, who we got here? Wendell, greetings to you too, family. Listen, Wendell, go send this to your people. Go shout out your Bajan posse. The Guyanese people, shout them out, shout them out. Send them the link, send them the YouTube link. Yeah. We're going to discuss some stuff tonight for sure. Rhonda, greetings to you, my sister, from across the waters. Shout out to the whole Demerara crew. Demerara for life. I don't know, the president. I don't know, man. I don't know. Plus, I got some information about Mr. Muhammad as well, Rhonda. Just a question. It's just a question because, I mean, they say he's a person of interest in Guyana. Perhaps he's the future president. I don't know. But Rhonda, go and tell a friend that politically incorrect up and running. I'm going to give you all about 30 seconds to go and do that. About 30 seconds. Go tell a friend for sure. Empress, I see you too. I see you. I see you for sure. Pedro, greetings. Pedro, I don't know, man. You might be upset tonight, though. I can tell that in the early. So, no, I'm not attacking the DLP. I'm not promoting the BLP. But we're going to do a juxtapose on this thing a little bit. But we're going to get to it. Rosemary, I see you, family. Greetings to you. Greetings. Been a minute. Tonight is that kind of night. So go tell a friend. So I'm gonna give you all like 30 seconds. I think it's 30 seconds. Go tell a friend and tell a friend. Like, share, and subscribe.
Real news for the people in real time. Politically incorrect. Now you're playing. Reality from the Royal elect, it's time to get in place for real news for the people in real time.
Yes, the reverbs. Real news for the people in real time, family. We're living in real time. I don't know the rest might be marking time, but we're living in real time. So we know there's a by-election in Barbados. I think we're going to do that special on Friday night, though. Maybe by then I have some people come on in, maybe like Alex Mitchell, who is the independent candidate. What I would like to set up, right? Perhaps I will reach out to Chad Blackman, Felicia Dujon, Alex Mitchell, and this young lady, and have the four of them, have a discussion on politically incorrect. Y'all think that would work? Y'all think that's possible? Bring on Alex Mitchell, bring on Felicia Dujon, the young lady, Miss Williams, I think it's Stephanie Williams, Mr. Big, they call him Big MVP, Chad Blackman. And let's have a conversation. See, this is the thing. They all say they're for the people, but if you invite them to come and talk with the people, man, I don't know, man. Pedro, what you think, Pedro? You think that was a good move? Greetings to you too, Maria, by the way. Pedro, I might be upset. You get the line? Yes, I get the line, man. Yes, we got the line, Pedro. Because you can come and work it same way. I know Maria going to help out too, so we ain't worried about that. But yeah, we get the line though, for sure. He thought that was a done deal. I ain't sure, Maria, what you're referring to as a done deal. But nevertheless, you mean in terms of the by-election? By as in by-election or by the election? I ain't sure, but greetings to you too, family. Greetings. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I want to jump into this thing real quick because we don't want to stick up. Pedro said for solidarity. Listen, look, man. I gonna be straight up. Everywhere I turn, right? People that I think would know better or should know better, telling me they can't wait to get their money in their account. Yeah. And I telling myself, you know what, man? I realize what the real issue is here, I think one of the real issues in Barbados right now is, yes, everybody going through their thing. But I don't think people understand this is a one-off payment. This is a one-off, allowance for now. Because it's basically a carrot that's being dangled in front of a horse. Except in this instance, you get to see it right in front of you, and you somehow think that they're giving you something. Now, let me get this straight. Folks are going to go on a political platform and discuss, quote unquote, all the different things they claim that the government has done for the people. Like Guyana and the president speaking about what he's done for young Adriana's family. But what they will not do is what is actually necessary to bring the resolution that is necessary. And we're going to touch on that tonight. We're going to touch on it tonight. And for all, I mean, they don't get me wrong, they got an impressive lineup of young speakers on the BLP platform tonight. Well, most of them anyway. Well, a few of them. But I admire the young people that mostly seem to have scripts, and I ain't knocking it. Perhaps they wrote them, got assistants, whatever. They all may have political ambitions. But one of the things I noticed, right, and again, this is not necessarily to say anything for or against. What they're doing is great. That is great. But based on the fact that they can go on a political platform and speak like that and be passionate about the BLP, the BLP, the BLP. I was going to wear a red shirt tonight, Pedro, but I said, nah, boy, that might cause some controversy. Because in reality, the same way they're allowed to speak passionate about, obviously, perhaps the means that put, quote unquote, butter on their bread, the man or the woman that ain't getting the bread and butter, that don't reap the benefits from all they're talking about, should they not also be allowed to speak freely about the things that they're not experiencing from one generation to the next? And so, you know, when I hear young people, well, I hear people in general, really, not just young people, so I don't want to single this out, but people in general, when they speak about these parties and with such upliftment, you know, like some sense of infallibility that they could do no wrong, obviously because they get in some bread and some butter from the same mechanism, they make it seem like somebody else that's saying something controversy. Well, let me rephrase that. Saying something contrary to what they're claiming shouldn't be able to, shouldn't say these things. And folks will get emotionally upset with you for speaking your reality. There are people in Barbados walking around picking up plastic bottles and taking them to the depots and trying to get a couple dollars. Folks picking up car batteries and selling car batteries, trying to get a little change and doing other things. I won't even get into them. Just to survive, man. Just to survive. And so they don't reap the benefit of what you put into the tourist sector during COVID. And that was a direct shot. You know, no one's interested in that. The government paying hotels so they could pay the staff. Nobody's interested in that. What would be more impressive is if the government told the hotel owners that collects these extra money that coming through Barbados that they take out of Barbados. What would have been real impressive to speak on the BLP platform is if Mr. Motley had said, listen here, man, you got to give these employees now shares in the hotel. That's right, shares, so that when we bail you out on a higher scale, they get their regular pay and whatnot that is due to them, plus some of the dividends that y'all gonna pay yourself anyhow. And then going forward from there, people ain't just working for the hotel anymore. They're working with the hotel because they're part owners. Now that would have been impressive. But don't talk about government give out money to hotels and sustain bar. No, that is the plantation mindset. And a lot of people that work in government, I'm realizing, has a plantocracy, let me phrase it. Have a colony. A neo-colonial mindset. We've been saying it for a minute, but the truth is, I've come to realize I understand why they have that, because a lot of people do not want to govern. They want to be governed. They don't want to take no responsibility for nothing. They want to be told. And that's the reality. Greetings, family. Shout out to the whole Clark family, man. The whole Clark's family. Big shout out. Clarks, listen. Go send the link to the people down the road. You know, because tell me that you don't be sending her the links, man. So go ahead and send the link, family. Shout out to the whole Clark family. Maria. Oh, Alex and company. Nah, Alex and company in a done deal. Alex a soldier, man. Alex be putting his work in. But Alex is out there putting in work. That other lady, Miss Williams, is trying her best to put in work. But I'll let her tell it for you in a little while. But before I get too far into the Barbados politics, You say you don't want the $300, right? Remember Jim Jones, family. Remember Jim Jones, man. A lot of folks going for that paper, though. Tell yourself, man, look, I game for that money, yeah. Imagine, boy, $300, boy. That is crazy. And they making it seem that they're doing something for you. They talk about bringing back free education to Barbados. So don't get me wrong. Education should be free. I totally agree that education should be free. The problem, though, is the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill campus, is pretty much, I think, to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, by the royal family, the queen and her son and whoever else. So understand, when they're producing Caribbean leaders or in the young people specifically, when they start to mold their minds and their ideology, it isn't to mold their minds in the direction where they would recognize that they're living on a colony under disguise as a country being led by the same colonizers who gave the emancipation, who prior to that were the slaveocracy that ran the plantocracy. Same people. They don't see that. So I'm here to say to you that albeit that education might be free, well, the question is what kind of education that they're getting, because you don't want something for free. You ain't getting the quality. Just saying. Shout out to you, family. Greetings, Miss Critchlow and the whole family. Shout out to King Kev. You already know. Daffodil. Greetings to the whole family. The whole family. Big family. The brother said it's a slave mindset. Well, you know, it is not a slave mindset, Pedro. I got to disagree with you on that one. Because the truth is, well, my view is that we weren't slaves prior to emancipation. I told someone the other day in a conversation that slavery began with emancipation. See, because prior to that, we knew who we were. We knew what we were fighting for. We knew who was who. We knew the difference between. But then they came to a point where they emancipated through education, and it was free back then too, for the ones that they, quote unquote, handpicked. Boy, shots fired. Yeah. So the ones that got handpicked, and some folks have ambitions to be handpicked. See, the problem with that is you can't fault them for thinking like that, because you know that they function not with a slave mindset. Truth is, they are a slave. Period. And they don't know. See, that's the problem right there. I think Harriet Tubman was the one. A lot of these, a lot of our brothers and sisters out here like to quote a lot of, like to quote a lot of past warriors. But like Harriet said, I would have been able to save a lot more of my people if only they knew they were slaves. Unfortunately, they care nothing about us. What they are interested in is purely personal gains. Give you a few trinkets and call it hell. Stoops. If you could have add some more ease on that. Straight up, man. Greetings to the family over there, up and away. Moms, greetings to you, matriarch. We got it. Yeah. Good to see you, family. Y'all already know what time it is, man. $300, yeah. Yes, that is $300 for your vote. Don't forget, we're starting in St. James North today for the next 7 days. And we'll in fact, St. James gets it twice, if I'm not mistaken. It just so happens that we can start with St. James, By the way, there's a by-election up that same side. Look, I told y'all that was going to happen. I didn't tell y'all that's going to happen. And guess what else has happened? They fixing the roads, Felicia. I'm sure you canvassing, so you must be stepping over the Barbara Green and they call it Pillow Maven Pill, Mavis Pill, Pillow. What do you call it? Pillow Maven. I don't know what they call it. Whatever it is, I know that you got to walk carefully in your heels because the Barbara Green fresh, man. It fresh up in there. Roads looking crisp. I tell you, don't say that. You give the people a whole set of work to do. They're going to do it. Make themselves look good. Come on, man. Chad already on the job, you see? look, man. This is so look. All I can tell y'all here, man.
Somebody advising you wrong.
That's all I can tell y'all, man. Somebody advising y'all wrong, man. Wrong. Education is very important, but what type of education are we aiming for? See, that's what I'm talking about. See, people, Andrea, look, that's what I'm saying. You fully get it. The education they're giving out on top that hill is not to empower us as the people. It is to create cogs to function in a machine that's been running for over 400 years. They're just fresh cogs. And they're not cognizant of that. Therein lies the problem. So, you know, you can't, like I said, you can't be vexed with nobody, man. You listen and you just be like, wow, man, this is crazy. Nothing is free. That's right, Pedro. Nothing at all is free. All have trade-offs. The question is, what are we giving up? Barbados, what are you giving up for $300? Right now in Guyana, the government in Guyana did the same thing. President Ali did the same thing. He put up a whole bunch of money. I think it's Rhonda. How much money is that in US? I think it's like maybe 200 US or 300 US. I ain't sure. Rhonda, if you're on, Rhonda, give me an idea how much US that would be. Type in the comments down there and let us know how much US that would be. Let me hang on one second here. Yeah, how much US would that be? Because Guyana did the same thing. What I've noticed with this case, and I've been paying close attention, is I'm hearing the government of Guyana doing a lot of things. But if I ain't known better, I would think I was in Barbados. Like, wait, hold up. We didn't do that. We did the same thing, but we did this. So I'm like, wait a minute, man. Is it coincidental that they functioning almost similar to the playbook that we running over here? Or is it that we took Guyana playbook and we running it over here? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just crazy. But the government in Guyana giving the people some money. I think they call it something for the mothers with children in school and all kind of stuff. It just, again, by the way, it just so happens that election is coming up. It just so happens. I'm not knocking the government giving out money. I get it. I get it. All I'm saying, family, is that I'm telling you, we are being taught about slavery, and these people feel like victims, man. Pedro, don't say so, Pedro, man. Don't say so, because the way they speak, right, and the diction that they use, you think that, I mean, boy, look, this thing here is another level here. I hope somebody take the clip. In fact, let me not say that. Let me not say that, because I listen to a few folks, man, and I'm telling myself, yo, man, that is just crazy. Rhonda, I see you call in, Rhonda. If you come on, hold on a second, Rhonda. Let me answer the call. Greetings, Rhonda. Welcome to Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct. Give me a second. I got a video I want to play something, Rhonda, and I want your feedback on it. So before I get you to come in, hold on, stay with me here in the studio for a little while. You there, Rhonda? Rhonda, I can't hear you, Rhonda. You there, Rhonda? Rhonda, if you're there, say something. I'm not hearing you. If not, you may gotta hang up and call back, if anything, because I'm not hearing you at all. If you can hear me, Rhonda. All right, let Rhonda go and work on that and call forward. And we're going to jump right back in this. I want to play it. Let me do this thing, Rhonda, real quick before you come in. Well, look, this thing here is another level. Clip. I get in a feed for it. Rhonda, you there? Hold on a second. Let me check, because I ain't sure. You there? Nah, I ain't see. I think Rhonda gone. Let me do this. All right, Rhonda. All right, hold on. Wait. Okay. I was hearing you loud. Okay, wait, hold on, Rhonda. Thanks, Rhonda. Rhonda says about $500 US the government give away. At least Ghana give away $500 US to the people. I mean, I could see why folks will run for that, especially if you ain't got nothing. But then again, I don't know how far $500 US goes in Guyana. But $300 Barbados dollars, Rhonda, that's like $150 US per person over 18 who register, and those who registered or something. So basically what this does is encourage folks to go and register in order, yo, Pedro, you see the setup. It encourages you to go and register so that you be in the system to receive the money on your new digital ID, Karen. You see? So if you ain't register, you can't get the money. So all the youths on the blocks and stuff go and register. A lot of people going to register because for them, that's that free money, you know. Same script, different cast. It's a fact. It's a fact. Guyana president gave 500 US equivalent to 100,000 Guyanese dollars. Imagine government say, boy, we're going to give you $100,000. Like, oh gosh, boy. Oh, scunt. Pardon me. I could say scunt, Rhonda. Is that a bad word? Is scunt a bad word? I don't know. Mom, forgive me. Here we go. Look, let me just play this here, though, because while the government is doing this, right? There's a serious indictment that I want to bring to the screen right now. Let me just go ahead and share my screen because this isn't a laughing matter. This is why I'm telling you about these politicians, right? Don't let them fool you, family. You getting real money, right? You getting real money. But check this out now, though. Let me see what really going on here. Will I get the video for this? Let me see. I don't know if there's a video for it. I don't know. There's not a video for that right now. No, there's not a video for that. Okay. All right. Let me just go back. Sorry. Let me go ahead and share this screen real quick. Let me go ahead and share the screen. Rhonda said, I hear you, Rhonda. Give me a second, Rhonda, and call for it again. But I wasn't hearing you, Rhonda. I wasn't hearing you. But let me go ahead and share this real quick. Let me add this to the screen. So this is the situation here now, family. This is what we're dealing with. So a UK doctor export. Let me just get the link. I'm going to share this link so y'all can go and check it yourself. This is an interesting conversation that was being had here by a doctor in UK. Let me go ahead and share this link. The link is in the comments for those interested. So a UK doctor exposed shocking twist in the Adriana Young's death. The doctor is actually claiming she didn't drown. And he's not saying this all the way in UK, just hocus pocus. He goes on to explain when a person drowns. And like I told you all, the universe is so interesting, the almighty, that a week to the day, a man drowned in another pool somewhere else. And he was able to see how it is for a person who drowned in a pool, who was missing from the day in front and was found the next day, and they around the same time. This is crazy. You cannot make this up. It literally shows you how a person would be. Unlike in the case with young Adriana, and I notice I'm saying the name in reverse. The reality is her body, the way it was, the whole 9 yards, nothing indicated that it was that it was an actual physical drowning. And he goes on to explain in this article. Like I said, the link is there. Guyana. In another twist in the devastating death of 11-year-old Adriana Young in Guyana, a renowned consultant at Nottingham University Hospital in the United Kingdom has raised serious concerns regarding the circumstances surrounding this child's death. Mark Devonish, who is a dual specialist in acute and general internal medicine, claims that the child did not drown in the pool where her body was found. According to the information, Young was found dead on April the 24th in the swimming pool of Doubleday Hotel, East Bank, Esquibo, where she went for a family outing. Let me go down here to discover the victim's life-left body. Okay, the discovery of the victim's life-left body came less than 24 hours after police claimed that she had left the hotel in a car, a claim which police later forced to retract with CCTV footage from neighboring properties revealed that she never left the premises. Dr. Devonish, in a detailed scientific analysis, explained that a body emerged in water sinks if it is denser than the water, a condition which is typically met in actual cases, like he said, a condition which is typically met in actual cases of drowning. He said that when a person drowns in a large volume of water, the body absorbs, inhales, as well as ingests significant amount of water, which increases its density, and this results in the body sinking to the bottom of the pool. However, he said that Adriana's body was found floating and notably not bloated, which is a major phase expected in decomposition after drowning. According to him, the absence of bloating, which is combined with the body remaining floating, contradicts the usual post-mortem changes which are seen in genuine drowning. Instead of this, the doctor presented a chilling alternative theory that the child may have been sedated and drowned in a similar volume of water, and then she was placed in the pool afterwards. He said that the pool was not the primary scene of drowning. And I felt that this was necessary to bring forward, and I'll tell you why. Because at this stage, right, family, I mean, a crime has been committed. There's no question about that. But at this stage, you got to realize, right, family, now this goes out to my Guyanese family too, my GT people, my Demerara people. I'm telling you all this right here, as well as the Barbados community and the wider Caribbean. I can't really speak for the world, but I'm speaking for the Caribbean right now. Family, all these governments and elections, all this stuff, take a minute, stick a pin. Let me stick a pin. If indeed what this doctor has claimed is irrefutable evidence in a situation where a person drowns, and none of these characteristics were found in young Adriana's situation, without question at this point, it is obvious, right, that the policing, I mean, when I say obvious, I mean not that it wasn't obvious, but let me just paint the picture so we understand what we're really dealing with here. It would clearly indicate that the police in Guyana is fully involved in this cover-up. Not all, of course, but some, clearly. It is obvious that the staff who were there, who was moving this body, this young lady's body around, is involved, clearly. It don't go on to the doctor is involved in this thing as well. It going on as far as the president as well. Because if he doesn't have the ability to put in motion something that will bring light and shed light to the situation, I mean, he acting almost as if he nonchalant, like, look, man, I put the people in charge, they're gonna deal with it, so don't bother me. He's like, wait, hold up. As the prime minister, as the president, sorry, I would like to think, man, that everything stops though. This kind of thing happening in my country on my watch. Real bad man. He's supposed to be down there from jump, kicking open doors like, yo, hold up. What going on here? Leadership, man. Literally open up doors. What going on? Like, yo, what going on? You see what I'm saying? Talking about, well, we had the camera now work and whatnot. Oh yeah? Bring the forensic specialists in here, man. Pull up this. I want the hard drives. I want the whole computer seized, because everything digital leaves a footprint. Everything. The city technician came and he said, man, I probably would lead that investigation. I tell you, man, we probably would have cracked this already. Shout out to Black Lion Security, by the way. Because now they're saying that the technician claiming that the cameras, the technician is verifying that the cameras weren't working. I didn't want to say it, man. I didn't want to say it. They need to go and pull the technician for a log. Are he working for a company? The log books. When last you even went to the hotel? When last you had communication with the hotel? Who you spoke with? When you spoke with them? What was the nature of the call? When was the last service on these cameras? What kind of cameras were they? Why weren't they not working? There was a blackout in the building. How comes they weren't working? It was rewiring the place. Like, what was going on? You know? Anyhow, it gonna come out though. Don't worry. It gonna come out, man. But yes, he was vertical at that. Exactly. That's crazy. That means that there was a lot of air trapped in her upper body. Her lungs. Well, they poured some, I don't know what they did, so I ain't gonna speculate. But they didn't fill it up though. Clearly her body was, nah. Truth can only be truth. It have to come out. It got to come out. It gonna come out, man. I'm late. I see 19 people and I'm only one that likes and scream. Come on, people. Yeah. I love, well, brethren, good to see you, by the way. a lot of folks may not want to be identified as liking politically incorrect, you know. I get it though. I do get it, man. But at least tell a friend to tell a friend. You see what I'm saying? Who's to see it can see it, man. Tim, what's up, Tim? Greetings to you and the family as well. That's a crime against humanity plain. I mean, at this point, Guyanese, right? Guyanese, look, man, if what this doctor said is the truth, right? You can't even trust the doctors in this situation. Look, I don't know the family. All I'm saying is family. You got to protect the family here. Protect them mother, protect the father, protect them because this thing right here look like it going to a whole nother level here. This ain't gonna end right there. The world watching. The world is watching. And right now, right? They said that there's more footage, more pictures are becoming because people got stuff. I just think I find it they coming slow, but they coming. In fact, I heard earlier that there's a drone footage showing. Man, I ain't want to buy into I don't know. I just find it strange. A lot of stuff is coming forward. Let it come forward. Let it come forward. I mean, I've seen pictures with her in the pool all of a sudden now. Look how long it took for them to come out. I understand. But people who had them pictures all along, what happened when they can put them up there ever since? They people know what's going on. Over a week now, damn near 2 weeks. Anyhow, I ain't getting that part of it. But shout out to you, family. Love and light to you too. Love and light, love and light. Jackie's on the line. I ain't gonna tell you. People are after our children across the whole Caribbean. Real thing in Jamaica, they had another situation in Jamaica like a couple of days ago where a 9-year-old young, like 9-year-old little girl, 9-year-old. Yeah, and her she was discovered, I think, by a little brother or a little sister. I'm not sure. I think the little brothers who found her. And well, the guy that they say that was involved, from what I understand, you know, may he rest in peace. When they caught up with him, this thing then go on to another level, family. So crazy. You heard the Minister of Health? I mean, in Guyana, the Minister of Health cannot be trusted at this point. Well, I know you're referring to Pedro. Let me not say that. But send me a link if anything. Big time payoff and threats. Yeah, man. Serious. They got that nurse lady still remanded, I think. I don't know if she's still in there. She went to the judge. I don't know, man. I by now she should have. Rhonda, what's the update on the nurse? Good night to you too, family. Good night. Good night. I got some videos to share with you all in a minute. Hold on a second. So that was my thing I wanted to share. The link is in the comments. Go read the rest of the article. You can do some research on this doctor in the university to see if what he's claiming is actual facts. And if that is facts, family, understand that while the family was outside this place, someone is claiming that those marks on her is those burn marks, well, those clear marks, what looks like clear marks, are a result of being in the refrigerator. I don't know how true that is. If she was in the refrigerator or ice, I don't know. But But my thing then is that I don't know if they're looking to do organ harvesting or what, but this cover up is too much to cover up. They're covering up this thing so much that they're going to expose it. Bottom line. I got another video to play though, brethren. It's alleged is the most appropriate description. It's alleged it's the most appropriate description. I like that. I got a video I want to play real quick though. That this the one? Yeah, this the one. Hang on a second. Let me switch here real quick. Give me a second, family. There's a video I want to play that speaks about the FBI getting involved, how they can get involved, and well, let me not say that they can get involved. They can only get involved by request. Let me let this clip run, and y'all can see what he's talking about. Let me play this real quick.
11-year-old Adriana, family of 11-year-old Adriana Young, who died under what appears to be suspicious circumstances, has called on the Guyanese government to facilitate the involvement of foreign agencies to investigate whether the death was a result of a homicide. They name-dropped agencies like the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, Scotland Yard, and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. The family's request came after the Guyana police dropped the ball on this case from the get-go, and they're now trying to do damage control. Lately, the family is more focused on getting the FBI to intervene after rejecting a retired investigator from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. In today's video, we will go over the protocols governing how and when the FBI gets involved in an investigation in a foreign country or jurisdiction.
No, that's the thing. So the feds can get involved, but the only way they can get involved is by invitation.
Before we jump into that, what's the Guyanese government's position on involving the FBI? The government holds the key to allowing the FBI to help uncover whether this case is a crime. But of late, President Irfan Ali is signaling a lack of interest in involving other external investigators on this case. That's besides the retired homicide investigator from Canada, who we learned arrived in Guyana last evening. Adriana's family outrightly rejected this government-selected official on the grounds of independence and transparency. President Ali appears at a point of resignation in terms of involving other external investigators. He is quoted as saying, "I've done what I said I would have done. I've already done what I had to do." The head of state stopped short of detailing what it is he's done. President Ali's current position is a stark contrast from his earlier promise to leave no stone unturned to determine everything we need to know about how the girl met her demise. So the big question is, what's stopping the government from involving the FBI? In fact, can the FBI even investigate Adriana Young's death? United States Ambassador to Guyana, Nicole Theriot, said the FBI may be able to help, but the Guyana government has to take the first step. However, the process can be a bit complex, which is why I'm inviting you to watch this video all the way to the end if you have a vested interest in the Adriana Young case, or you'd like to learn more about how the FBI gets involved in a case in a foreign country. That will help you get a full understanding of when and how the FBI may take on an extraterritorial case, such as the one involving the death of someone in another nation, including when that person is a non-US citizen, as would be the case if the agency were to take on or get involved in the Adriana Young incident. As you may know, the FBI is an American crime investigation agency. It cannot insert itself into the affairs of a sovereign country like Guyana, but it can intervene so long as it follows preset protocols or steps to lawfully get involved. Let's take a look, and remember to jump into the comment section and let us know your take on this. One of the first things we wish to square away is this: the FBI operates under US federal law and cannot act freely abroad. However, there's a system that allows it to investigate international crimes, including suspicious deaths, and this is typically when there is a valid jurisdictional connection. We'll explain what that means in a moment. A general approach involves the following steps. The first one is a request by the host country. Guyana would be the host country in this case. The Guyana government or the police force can invite or permit the FBI's involvement, but that is if there is some kind of bilateral arrangement or bilateral agreement between Guyana and the US for this to happen. Number two, the FBI has to decide if the case has a link or nexus to the US jurisdiction. For example, the FBI may investigate if the death involves a US citizen, whether as a victim or a perpetrator.
Well, we didn't go too far into that. No, my point was that all they gotta do is answer questions. Look, we want a little help with this thing right here. You know, we didn't want to look incompetent, so we can try to act like we're gonna fix it, although we the ones that messed up in the first place, and the world is watching. We can just go and sit on it and pretend that we're working on it. And when we finally can't do it no more and completely botched up, I guess, and cover up as much as we could possibly cover up, nothing to see here, then we're going to bring you in. Unless they're discussing, well, I ain't going to say the hotel owner's son or whatever, because, again, I wasn't there. It's alleged. It's alleged. All right? Let me use the word. Thanks, Elder. It's alleged. It's alleged. So we'll see what happened in a bit. But the point I wanted to focus on that was the fact that at this point, family, it is so blatantly obvious. It's like, man, Caribbean people, again, Pedro said it earlier, right? He said slave mindset, but in reality, right? You would got to be living under a rock at this point to see all this going on. See the people that you trust in authority, that you vote in authority, see this going on, realize that they're not even really doing what they should be doing at the level they should be doing it, and still telling me that you support this thing. That is something called psychological. What's that called? Huh? That ain't Stockholm. That ain't Stockholm. That's cognitive dissonance. There's that word again, right? That's cognitive dissonance. I'm telling you, man, this thing is psychological. Mental health is the biggest threat to the Caribbean. Because you got a lot of people who ill mentally and don't know it, man. Don't know it. So when somebody start to call that out, they make me look like I'm crazy, which I might have a little of that going on, yes. But crazy is not bad in an insane world. Because if the world is going insane and you trying to be sane, that's going to drive you mad. It's going to drive you mad. Are you mad? The only way you can counteract that is to be crazy, man. And there's no other way around it. I'm telling you, man. Okay. Anyhow, let me post the rest of that video. Like the sister was saying, a lot of information is given up in that particular video. I put the links right there as well in the comments for those who are interested in looking into that. Go check it out. Tell a friend and tell a friend. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. I would go to war for my children. People sick. Sure. It was neutralized. Maria is saying now the guy was a family friend of the 9-year-old. That is crazy, man. Yeah, he was neutralized. He was they didn't. Greetings, family. Greetings. Shout out to the family at home and abroad. Telma, greetings, family. Greetings to you too. And everyone watching, big shout out from Telma. An ex-Canadian mounted police investigator. I don't know how that even happened. How Guyana managed to call in this ex-Canadian mounted police. Like that's somebody's cousin. Because I didn't know where to find this guy. Like, I don't know, CSI or something. I don't understand it, man. Recording devices need to be confirmed. Was no data scrubbed from them. But that's the thing, though, Tim. This is your neck of the woods, man. I know that if you think about this, again, they told the technicians a forensic audit of them computers would tell you what's going on, and you know how the thing go, man. You can tell everything gonna leave a digital footprint for those who know how to find it. Could find it. The question is, what really going on, right? Videos everywhere is a fact. Look, let me show how deep this thing go, man. Apple phones, right? The Apple phone, them fancy Apple phones. And if I'm not mistaken, you can turn off the feature. But if you don't turn it on, to my knowledge, the phone takes a picture. Tim, if I'm wrong, correct me, man. The phone takes a picture every 3 minutes or whatever. Like it literally takes a picture of the area, whatever. Who knows what footage, if they check the folks who were there, who knows what's stored, what's really stored somewhere. Like you can't really, like, boy, look. Serious, man. Yeah, it's a serious psychosis, though. I'm telling you, man. It's a serious one. Sick people just keep covering up. They're not sick. They're not right. Evil as hell. They're outright evil as hell. They're not sick, right? They're evil as hell. Man. My child, hell on earth, man. Hell on earth. Brethren, you have nailed it. Our political servants in the Caribbean doesn't want to be embarrassed calling for outside help, watching, making our local constabulary incompetent. But brethren, I ain't in front, right, brethren? Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong at all, man. My thing at this point is the doctor. Now, again, we already had questions because we talked about rigor mortis at the time. Like the whole body didn't even have that. Like she would, like literally, she was, unless they had her, she would have been alive that same morning here. While her family was outside, she was alive somewhere in that place. and they rushed quick and did what they had to do. This is crazy. While the family right outside where they could have just let the girl get along and just hold a lesser charge, they're going to up the thing to another level. Like this, wait, hold up. What? This is just crazy. Crazy, man. And adults involved in this thing, watching this thing, and just, Brethren, these people ain't human here. I can call a spade a spade. They're not human. I don't know, man. Different beings altogether. Totally different creatures, man. Yeah, you're gonna have to unzip them, man. You're gonna have to unzip them. They not, nah, this is a different thing here altogether, man. Like you telling me the family outside, you know this, and to cover up, look, man. This is going to shape the history of the Caribbean in a different way, y'all. I mean, people think this is it. This is it. Miss Montley, you always with this young fella, Ali. Already got pictures all over the colleagues and comrades and all the terms, right? You know, man, look, right now, prime ministers should be out, insist the same way they're making videos. But look, man, let me left that right there, dude, cause that might get misunderstood, man. I mean, I watch almost everybody in that particular party. Majority of the people had a video for the young man that was on a live up in at the netball game. I couldn't understand why. And again, I'm not taking away from the family's loss, but I could think of like 4 names off the top of my head right now of young men around the same age group too, that less than a year ago under the same administration watch, that basically was in the same fashion, in the same manner, and not one of them had a word to say, not one. Even the ones that I call and say, look, you know, go and check the family, quite happen in your neck of the woods. Well, I guess they might have did it privately, differently. But I would have still liked to think he would have done a little bit more, but you know, politics, right? Not a word though. But all of a sudden, everybody got something to say? I find that a little strange. Well, say something now about this one then, since you are concerned, because he might have been 13. I mean, he rise in power. This young lady is 11. I mean, if it was an age factor, we got the 11, we got the 9. I mean, this thing, like, wait, though, like, look, man, man, look, I feel like about to write Putin, yeah. Because I know what y'all gonna respect, you know. I know what y'all gonna respect, you know. I know full well women are gonna respect, man. The attorney represented the family to set up a site. Anyone who was there that day should upload videos to this particular site. A lot of people scared. They scared. They scared. They said Guyana ain't easy. They scared. Well, guess what? If Guyana easy today, it means that Guyana wasn't easy before. Guyana is not easy. Show to all my Guyanese, man. Speaking of Guyanese, greetings, family. You there now?
Greetings, I'm hearing you. You hearing me?
Loud and clear. Welcome to Politically Incorrect, Rhonda, and the whole Guyanese family.
Oh.
Shout out to Kadaki and crew.
Yes, I tried you on the program.
Yes, indeed. Had to stop by.
But the damn mangoes make you.
Listen, Rhonda, don't leave Kadaki mangoes out of this. Furthermore, in fact, let me not mention mangoes. In fact, I got some mango juice drinking. You go ahead, talk your talk. Tell us what's going on. What's the update with the nurse, Rhonda?
I understand she had to go to court. But I ain't hear nothing else. Tomorrow I'm going to pick up a line on them.
Man.
Anyway, what I know that everything good that goes on in Guyana happens in your country. We got a cash grant over last year and to early this year of 100,000 Guyana dollars. And that is equivalent to like 500 US.
Okay.
Now for the roads and so, they're doing a set of roads that by the time you walk, it's breaking up. For instance, the road what they do, who Robio traveled on, what they call the Heroes Highway, the man end up getting a thing called narrow. But he said was concussion. So a lot of works that are being done, it ain't lasting. So that is what's going on in Guyana. Now coming back to the little girl, remember a pathologist came from your country
Oh
to
man.
assist in the autopsy. And the president got up and he said the same night of the autopsy
Mhm.
that the result was drowning and no sexual problems with the girl. Anyway, a new lawyer took over, Dexter Todd. I think he's a forensic lawyer, something like that.
Mhm.
And when he spoke with them, asked the police, the top brass of the police, they said they were not in receipt of a report on the autopsy that was being done. Now, with them now, this doctor from England, I wonder if these doctors who came and did the autopsy, and I feel to myself that they collected materials, tissue, and different urine and all of those things, and they may have taken it outside to do like the toxicology report and the different things, but they have not, those findings don't happen within a certain time. So hence, you will not be able to get the full results on that in such a short time.
Well,
That was not like the 19 children were born up in Madia, and within 2 days, they could done do, Guyana done do DNA, and 19 persons, each person got 206 bones, and all the bones together, and they were able to do the DNA and affix 206 bones to each child and give it to the parents to burial.
and Rhonda, in light of what we saw recently in the last 2 weeks, I am almost certain that they basically just put whatever they put together and call it a day here. I can't trust what they have said at this point. In fact, it's now being said that somebody else recently also lost their little one at that same location. But it has been alleged that the family was given some money.
Before when the girl died, they had an Indian boy who died there in 2012.
No, I don't mean that
in
one.
The same
I don't mean that one. I mean another one.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I said,
about the one.
like I said, it's alleged. You can hear all kind of stuff now, but what we're dealing with is facts. Here's some facts. That princess was in that pool in a warm state, and that was obvious. I mean, her nose ran blood, so what happened to her had only shortly happened, and that was obvious. What the family should have done at the time, if we can even go back and look at it, is to see how long it took from the time they discovered her to the body start to go into a state of rigor mortis. Then you will have an idea, because it takes a few hours. So from, I guess 3 or 4 hours, so that you could gauge from there, like, wait a minute, if her body is only now starting to enter that stage, it will kind of give you an idea that maybe half an hour the most, maybe before they found her, that young, she was alive, man. Rhonda, Imagine she was alive. It's a possibility that allegedly, it's a possibility that she was alive about an hour before they found her, or maybe even less than that, for all we know. There's a possibility of that. And so the brother said that they used the scrub DNA. What's that stuff you put in the pools? It's not. It's chlorine. Is it chlorine?
Chlorine.
But
Chlorine.
I know chlorine in its in concentrate form. What they put in the pools is so strong that you put a drop on your clothes, like it'll just remove the color instantly, like without playing. I don't know if that has the same effect on the human body. Like, so
Yes, because here, let me tell you, in Guyana, people getting a lot of chlorine, the beads, because they are selling around the place, and you would clean your concrete and different things with it. And if you put it, and remember, chlorine is what you make bleach with.
yeah, but it's a diluted bleach. But I mean, not in bleach, not at the level of I mean commercial grade chlorine, not the one you get off the supermarket shelf. Commercial grade chlorine, you might have to have a special license to even buy that, because you can't. So as having a pool, more than likely they would have access to those chemicals. Now here's the thing. At that level, that concentrate, that, like Pedro, like do some research, or Sean, is it possible that chlorine at a commercial grade level could be so strong as it would remove pigment from a person's skin, or give the appearance of a burn? Perhaps it might burn, because it's a chemical reaction. Well, who knows? But like I said, though, a lot is going on with that. I like the fact that it's a new perspective. And again, these governments, Rhonda, these governments, find out what's going on with the nurse for us, Rhonda. And hopefully by Friday you could give us an update on what's going on with her, because again,
love your own thing, but let me tell you something, When this thing it does done, so because let me tell you, you see now in Guyana, you got your children. At least I am now looking a granddaughter, and I'm so scared. She wanted to go to her aunt, and she said, "Grandma, I could go." I said, "No, no, 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 no. Now let me carry you, because now remember this full story. You might still got people with the same type of mind now going to use other areas to collect people. Look in we village, and I think around the place, people would be mining sheep. Not you have black belly sheep,
don't start that.
Sheep and goat and stuff. And they might that it, and somebody might pass, see a goat, next thing you know, they just pop it in the vehicle and gone. When you the owner go looking for your things them in the afternoon, 1 minus or 2 minus. Let alone now, children.
Well, I can tell you something, Rhonda, and I want you to know, the comment here is they said she went to get her wristband. Was she wearing one when she was found? The answer is yes, by the way.
Yes,
she was wearing. So this might take. So she's in the pool, and I don't have that picture showing the gentleman in the back. Like I said, I mean, it points to him as the culprit, and I don't know if he is or isn't. But the owner's son is standing to the back of the pool in that image. And so should I put that up here?
So really here what happens in Guyana.
Let me tell you something,
when you
Rhonda.
go to these
No, go ahead. When you finish.
Yeah. When you go to these places with pools, or you go to resorts, when you meet to the gate, they will come to the vehicle, or if you're walking, and they would ask you, well, how many of you? Then they're going to ask you, they'll say that thing like, children like below this age will not pay. And so like from 3 and above to like 12, compare children fee. And the adults gonna pay the adults. Now it depends if when you go in, if they're gonna put on your band. If the band is for you to swim with, because you got some of them who when you go in, you might get a band to enter the place.
But you don't got one to
And
swim,
not to
but not got
swim.
one to swim. Right. Now I understand. I definitely understand. Look at the screen, Ron. Let me just switch the screen. I want to switch this real quick here. Let me see if I could line myself up here real quick. All right, so this is well, this is not the actual picture, this is actually the video itself. The reason I'm saying that is I'm guessing, let's say she was in the pool, right? And she's in the pool,
Yeah.
and this gentleman that they're pointing at here, who's the owner's son, recognizes that she doesn't have a band on and say, hey, you come here. Hey, come here. You don't have a band on to be in the pool. Why would she decide to get out the pool when she's already in the pool? By the way, the arrow above Pam Stewart name is the young Adriana, the arrow there pointing.
Yeah.
She's already in the pool. She's in the pool. So why would she decide out the blue to get out the pool to go for a band that gives her access to the pool, unless she was in the pool without one and somebody who works there said to her, hey, excuse me, come here. You don't have a band for the pool. Well, go to the front desk and you get one from there. So she goes to the front desk, gets a band, and on her way back to the pool, there's a decoy. Well, wait a minute, you got to come this way to get the band, or come with me to get a band. So she had no thoughts about it because maybe, the others might have bands and you see the others have bands, but you got to come and get one. And so innocently, she might have gone with whomever to get this band. So what I'm saying that to say though, Rhonda, is that we know that something happened. It's obviously a duck at this point, but it gone too far. And the system is really where I'm going to focus on. This is where my focus want to be. The system that people so hopelessly believe in for their bread and butter is showing itself up to be the monster it was all along. And this is not just in Guyana. This is not just a Guyana thing. That's why I'm bringing it home to Barbados now, because we have a by-election coming up, and I got some footage to share real quick on that as well. Let me go get that shortly. But Rhonda, check on the nurse for us and let us know what is going on with the nurse. Bring us an update on Friday.
Okay.
I am concerned for her safety.
But
because
really, just before you go, let me tell you something. When you go into these places, I could tell you because I took children to fun resort further down at Perico years ago. And when we got there, as soon as we go, they collect you, they give you your band, you pay. I went to 2 or 3 other resorts. And as soon as you enter, you ain't getting for going, pool going, nowhere. As soon as you enter, your band.
Yeah, well, I don't know why she decided to get out and go somewhere, unless she was told to do that. Somebody would have had to said something to her. But again, that's what the grandmother claimed it was. She went to get the band and whatnot. But my thing though is that beyond why she got out, doesn't matter why she got out, the way it happened and the way they're covering this up is the focus. They're going too far with this. Like I said, they're exposing who they are. That's why I'm saying to you, in Guyana, that young lady that's in custody, the nurse that they said made up the whole story and she telling lies, all other stuff. Oh, hypothetically speaking, what if she not telling lies? And you know what I'm saying? So again, keep an eye on her. Keep an eye on her. Keep an eye on her. Point blank, man. Point blank. Thanks for calling in, Rhonda. Friday, give us an update, and we look forward to hearing you then. Right? Show it to the whole Guyana while you at it as well.
Okay.
Give thanks, family. Rhonda, our resident on the ground in Guyana. Pure love and pure light, man. Rhonda, don't miss a beat. I think I lost my. Oh, here it is. Yeah, we did. My thing though is that Reggie, I read some of what you've highlighted on drowning. It also outlined that the discoloration of the parts of the body associated with drowning. The only thing that I didn't hear from the experts was how long it takes for the body to change coloration. Well, okay, fair enough. But the gentleman that had transitioned a week later, when they showed his body, he was there for the day in front, and that water submerged the whole time to the following day to the morning. Unlike Young's case, showed no signs whatsoever of discoloration, none whatsoever. So if we're comparing the two, she was in an advanced state, but then again, the discolorations were only, in her case, in certain places only. So I know, you know, I know that, nah, but good observation, Elder. Pedro say, here the nurse got sick. Look, man, Pedro, don't say it, Pedro. Don't do it. Cash grant paying out in May for school in September. May, June, July, August. Yeah, that's an advance though. Welcome to GT. Banners, man. Stop playing, man. It wasn't a pathologist that went there. The rightful man refused to go. Oh, wait, hold on. You're saying that the man who went to Guyana was not a pathologist? It was somebody else? He refused to go. I think somebody said that they had originally refused him chlorine tablets. Yes, I know they use tablets, Sean, but there's also a liquid. They also have a liquid that is poured into the pool, if I'm not mistaken. Or it used to be in liquid form first. But because it was so dangerous, I ain't sure. But something to look into. So she was taken after. Interesting. Well, I won't say it was after or before, Jackie. What we do know is that she had a ban on that when she was on this, when her father took her out the water on the side, there was a band on her hand. The green, if I'm not mistaken, it was a green band on her wrist. And so I don't know, man. I believe she was alive. Listen, man. The father said it, and I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it at all. But in fact, I put this video up for those who might want to go and watch this as well. There's several of them. I'll put a link to this one as well. I won't get into it because I want to bring this whole thing home. Is where I'm going with this by-election. Setting the stage where the governments, we can't trust them like that, family. I'm not pointing fingers at everybody. I'm simply saying, man, if they could do this like this in front of the entire world stage, Guyana right now is being viewed from the entire world stage. This is crazy. Crazy. All right. All right. All right. By-election. Yes, it's a by-election in Barbados, Pedro. It's a by-election. Wait, hold on a second. I think I missed something here. Hold on. Tim, I see you, Tim. Chlorine. When transported on trains in full strength, the trains derail. Whole city is evacuated for the fumes alone. Commercial grade. I telling you, chlorine ain't nothing to play with. So I don't know if they had it there in maybe not in full strength, or maybe it was in full strength, because I think they do sell it in full strength for pools, because it's like maybe the ratio of mixture you wouldn't be able to tell, because if they take it out in its pure form and pour, let's say, a gallon of chlorine equivalent, the mixture is 1 to maybe 100. So they put 1 gallon of chlorine in 100 gallons of water, then, or 1,000 gallons of water. However, I don't know what it is, but it could have it. You could have it in the purest form, because you're not using it like that. You're using it to dilute an entire pool. But the question, at that strength, would it take the pigment out of somebody's skin? I think the answer is yes. But again, we look into that across that line. Question is, can the nurse claims be possible? Man, at this point, Pedro, anything is possible, man. More to the point is where the discoloration was. Speaking of Moore, well, what's the brother name, man? Steve Moore. I haven't heard of him in a minute. I suppose he's still around. I got to check the radio station. It used to be on a radio station, 246 Vibes or something. Speaking of Moore, that's triggered my thoughts there, Steve Moore. I remember that guy. Yeah. Show it to Steve Moore, wherever you are, man. Wherever you are. Sadiq Juman was the first person that was found drowned in the Doubleday Hotel pool. The owners were charged, but hot off the case. Oh, man. They used to get in charge, huh? Good night, Beverly. Greetings to you, too. Shalom, bro. All the program, now log on. Give thanks. Tell a friend and tell a friend. You're going to have to watch it on the replay. But check this out, though. Let me get to this thing here real quick. Let me play this video right here real quick, family. This is where I'm going with this. Well, okay, maybe I won't play that one because of time. But let me go to this one then. Let me go to this one because I see time slipping away. Let me go to this one. If I didn't know any better, right? I mean, look, man, let me just put it up here first of all. So this is the sister that is going to be also campaigning. Miss Williams is her name. She said canvassing is going well for her. Well, that's what the caption says, but let me let it play and see what she has to say, because I admire anybody who takes their time to get up, to get involved in politics with the idea that they're going to make a difference and sincerely want to make a difference because they're tired of the same old. So listen to what she had to say, though, regarding her experience thus far.
And this is the first time I'm doing anything like this, but I have found that persons feel like if they reach out to help, they'll be victimized or discriminated against. Even in terms of doing a spot meeting, persons believe that if they help me, it will be saying that they are with me. I mean, I even had one lady who said, yes, you can, and then when they called her yesterday, she said she doesn't want to do it. I couldn't find any place else to do it. So the young lady, she allowed me to use out front of her house. It already has a tank set up. And please, it may not have any light, but I will be there and I will be saying what it is that I need to say.
Will you be on speaker or you have any guests or anything like that?
Well, I have one other speaker who has said that she will come and say something on my behalf as a friend, and I can really appreciate that. Being an independent is not easy.
Being independent is not easy, is her claim.
Feel like if they reach out to help, they'll be victimized or discriminated against.
I like that she said that. People would like to help, but they feel that if they do help, they'll be victimized. Or, I mean, let me let y'all listen to that again, because why would people feel that they would get victimized for helping someone who wants to help? Where did that idea come from that people are afraid? Is politics so deep that you can't even trust your neighbor? But you want to get electricity, but I want to going to run and tell Ralph Thorne I give you electricity, or I want to run and tell Miss Motley I give you electricity because they might cut off my electricity. Like that's really where we live in, family. If we're living in that kind of society, right, we in more trouble than you can begin to imagine. Now, again, I don't know this young lady. She said she didn't have any other speakers. She only had herself and a friend or so. And again, I don't know. In fact, hold on, wait a minute. Let me just put this out here. Yes, number on the screen, family. Politically incorrect. Numbers on the screen. But it would be interesting. Like CBC funny, they could, the government, CBC is owned by government. I like to think that the government station would give all personnel equal opportunity to share their message and runs free ads for, especially for independent candidates. That kind of stuff, man, if they're really serious about helping the people. But man, I don't know. But that's what's going on with his sister right here. Said the folks are afraid.
Feel like if they reach out to help, they'll be victimized or discriminated against.
That is so damaging to think that we live in a society where people are afraid to help somebody because I'm afraid I'll be victimized for doing so. Anyhow, family, that's politics, right? That's why I'm telling y'all, man, we in this space right here, we got to take this thing a bit more serious, look at this thing a bit more differently, because politics, man, the politics game going too far, man. People scared. It is playing crazy, absolute madness, is all I can tell you, man. They test the pH of the pool first. Too much bleach in the pool can burn your skin. Yeah, I know they got to test it and make sure they get the right balance. Otherwise, and I've seen guys do that. And these guys that do that, they work on some serious conditions because it is that powerful. It is that powerful. Full strength is to shock the water in the pool. When first fill up with the tablets is used to top up to keep pH levels correct. Man. They fear the government, and the government take away their salary. A lot of work. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Sean. It's true. CBC probably would love to, but this supreme leader probably give instruction. The supreme leader. Pedro, you give her so much credit, right? I began to think you might really, Pedro, this is really, but first of all, Pedro, who's Pedro Gemma, man? I hope this ain't me and Martin in disguise, you know. You always giving Martin some sort of, I don't know, supreme leader. I don't listen. Miss Motley is Miss Motley is equivalent to the manager at Chafet. I keep saying it. She only represents the plantocracy. She is not the plantocracy. And as powerful as we like to think that she might be, imagine the folks that she's standing in front of that do not want to be seen or heard, man. My people sickening. I say, man, it crazy, man. It is crazy. It crazy, man. But Clark, what you gonna do, Clark? You gotta keep doing the works. That's all we can do. Keep doing the works, man. Anyhow, this young lady, Miss Williams, I wish her all the well. I will her, success with her endeavors in whatever capacity, Someone said, in fact, I was in that area this morning, and I spoke to a few individuals from that area this morning. And what I was told is that they have never seen Mr. Hinkson while they was there. They saw him one time at the school. There's a primary school down there somewhere. I don't know the name of the primary school, but there's a primary school over there somewhere around the corner from the fire station. If somebody know the name, they could put the name up. And, this is a primary school. And that school has been there as a beacon in that community for a long time. And I was told that, shout out to the principal of the school, or the former one, whichever one. I don't see it. Yeah, this is done by Weston. I don't know your name. I know your name. Maybe somebody could post it in the comments. That's no. So here's the deal. The school apparently, allegedly, always, needed some help here and there. And there was a situation where the school needed some assistance, And they reach out to Mr. Hinkson. Allegedly, politics. I wouldn't even get into that story. Because I wasn't there, I don't know how true it is, and I won't repeat that, I don't know. But watch what I'm saying. Folks gonna love you, folks ain't gonna love you. You're gonna find those that support one and support the other, and you know how it is in Barbados. But I don't know if this is the same Mr. Hinkson that was involved with the case with Mr. George Payne. I don't know if this Pedro, you're aware of this, Pedro? Is this the same Hinkson that had a lawsuit or something against Mr. George Payne or vice versa? There was some legal matter they told him was rustling about. George Payne and Hinkson, two lawyers. I mean, in fact, now that I think about it, Mr. Hinkson would be the minister for Western St. James, which is down there by that place called Colvilla. And there's a place by the beach there, a beach house and some other stuff that was stolen and sold according to Mr. Franklin. What's his name again? Can't remember my name. Sure, we name. Caswell Franklin. Wow, I actually forgot his name. According to Caswell Franklin, a sister was disgruntled with another sister, and she sold the property to some white man through the lawyer George Payne. But the minister for that area would have been Hinkson. I wonder if the dispute was around that same time. I wonder. Just a thought that's occurred to me. I wonder if Mr. Hinkson was involved in that sale as well. Maybe dispute over land, because that's land in his constituency, a beachfront property. Anyhow, I'm thinking out loud, family. Anyhow, let me get past here. So let me move forward, man. My thing is that at this point, I think that this by-election coming up, what they're talking about as a by-election is coming up. Like I said, I was watching I watched a few of them in between, listen to them in between in passing. When they straight tell me to click here and fast forward here and skip this and skip that person, and definitely skip that person for sure. You know, but some things do stand out, and I ain't promoting it. But Mr. Thorne, I think you should go for that subvention. What's the rules of parliament during a by-election? Is the government supposed to provide money to the candidates? Or, you know, I don't know, unless you only have a seat. I don't know how it goes, but St. Albans, there you go. Yeah, man, the city minister never used to check for the school at all. Said person, okay. MP, not minister. He was once Home Affairs minister. Okay, he's an MP. Got you covered. Give thanks, fam. Like I said, his school is All Saints family, and he was the MP down in that area. But the folks that say they never saw him, they never saw the man ever. Ever. It's beyond my reason and comprehension. I will never understand it. Pedro said, watch him out. Yeah. Me buying votes. I don't know, man. Just the thought I had there, Pedro, because just the thought I had there, man. Because a lot of people get caught up in that situation. Again, governments and cover up, man. But this is Aquarius, so you can't really cover it up. You got to deal with it. You got to deal with it. So we see how we deal with it now, man. We see how we deal with it. Anyhow, family. Politics. So rotten. Anyhow, family. Let me roll up out of here, man. What I would like to say, though, is at this point, I think that Barbadians, in light of all that's going on, and regardless of politics and politicians will be politicians regardless. That is just who they are. I think the people of Barbados got to reach a point where they realize, well, at least those of us, and I say us because there's a clear difference between those who are rushing for that $300 and those who are not even interested at all. And so the lines are being drawn, family. And it's obvious. Like in Guyana, there's some folks actually speaking negatively about the young lady, young Adriana. There's some people who actually speaking out, saying negative things. I'm thinking, what kind of sick thing is this here, though? You know, so things change in family. Get your house in order, man. You know, start to recognize that we got to do for self, become self-sustainable. Shout out to Bishai, by the way. Give thanks for the link first night for the program. Agriculture stepping into the light. Yeah, saying yes. And the brothers there from Cardi, as well as the program. Visit Bay Hill, I think it's called. I could be wrong if I butcher that. Forgive me. But we give thanks nevertheless. And so we gotta realize we're being sucked into something here, and we just can't let it go. He said, I tell you already, the king was a politician. It's a duty, for sure. It's the dirty politicians. I like to think, right, brethren, that we can't just sit back and watch it. We got to raise the bar differently. And the best way to do that is to start by governing your house, governing yourself, governing your household, governing your community on the ground. You can't wait for the people that claim they're in power or claim they have the power to do it for you when you have the ability to do it for yourself. That's why every program I come here tell you the same thing. You got to start becoming self-sufficient and self-sustainable. Because so long as you got your hand out, so long as your hand out begging, as long as your hand is out, stretched out to a politician for something, you ain't gonna give something in return, man. So, family, be wise in these times. Open your eyes, and straight up, just you got to be focused on some things. I wanted to share this video with you all for a little minute, and I think tonight I might as well do that. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is probably, I think this is actually on Facebook. It might be on YouTube as well. I'm not sure, but you might have to go and look it up. You might have to look this one up. Let me see if I can tie this in real quick before I go. Let me get a nugget for the night. You might like this, Pedro. Hang on. Let me use this one. How do I full screen this? Oh, here it is. Let me full screen this. I hope y'all can see this. So y'all can see what's going on. And enlighten your people. That's right. That's right. Well, let's do that right now, Pedro. Let me see if I can put this on real quick. I'll give you all the link. You might go look for the name on YouTube, but
remember what we found in Lalibela today. We are going to go even further than before. We are going to go high into the mountains of northern Ethiopia. It is one of the most important pilgrimage places of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. These churches, supposedly carved into the rock, were built during the 25-year reign of King Lalibela, supposedly, where we are also told that they were built with more than a little help from the angels, where archaeologists question miracles. Again, we have shown a lot of evidence that these structures are most likely not carved out of solid rock, and they were most likely constructed and have since turned into this appearance, especially when we are told that these churches at Lalibela also form interconnecting complexes, tunnel systems. Again, something that we have shown all over the world, this time within the solid rock formation. And it goes on to say, church tradition recognizes the huge task represented by the cutting of these churches and their associated trenches, passages, and tunnels.
Yes. Lalibela. Go look it up, family. That's your homework. There's so much we have not been told about us as a people and who we are, where we came from and where we're going. All these different things you see going on, and you wonder, like, who are these other people? Because Who does stuff like that? Like, you really got to start thinking to yourself, because there's a difference. There's a big difference. And we got to tap into it, family, and know who we are. Know thyself. I just said, teaching people, time to know yourself, family. You got to take time to know yourself, govern your family, and move forward from there. That's key. Family, having said that, or people seeking enlightenment, but which hub are we drawn to? That's a good question. I like that. Or the one appears to be shining brighter. Interesting question. Question is posed, family. Which bulb are we drawn to? Or the one that appears to be shining brighter? That's the question. Well, family, we give thanks. And I give thanks to that comment, by the way. Give thanks. Powerful. Fam, you and mom, y'all be good. Keep good. Night to all. There's much work to be done. We're going to continue to do the work, family. Every little makes a lot. We got a lot. So let's stay focused. Today is the beginning of your $300. What do you call it? Allowance. Don't spend it all in one place. You know the irony of this whole thing? Maybe this is a test run for reparation, right? Of course not. But I wonder, right, if we look at this $60 million they're about to give away right now in allowances to Barbadians, I wonder where the money gonna go. Because $60 million ain't gonna come into the community and help the community, you know. It can go to pay off some bills that people owe. It can go to pay off some bills that people owe. It can go to pay off some bills that people owe. Probably might end up doing a little grocery shopping, so some supermarkets might get a little touch of it to some degree. But $300 in supermarket, about 5 bags if you're lucky. If you're lucky, about 5 bags. Definitely about 4 for sure though. But I know what the 5 bags. And then 4 bags is only enough for 2 people. Barely for about maybe 3 days. But anyhow, and so we'll give or take. You know, I'm stretching it a little bit here, but come on, y'all get the point. But a lot of that money going right back to the, well, there you go. Money going right back to the private sector. Straight back to the plantocracy. We ain't getting it. And the thing is this though, here's the thing. Banks, right? The credit union gonna get some, because some folks might deposit it, you know, and the credit union gonna give it to the bank. But the bank is allowed to create $9 for every $1 that you put in the bank of imaginary money. So you put in your $300 in the bank. 3 9s are how much? Come on, quick, family. Somebody quick, give me that. 3 9s are how much? All right. So the bank get to make all that money from your $300 deposit. I don't know, boy. I don't know. Multiply that. Well, that's the easy way to do it is to multiply that. Multiply the 60 by 9. Multiply the 60 million by 9. What do you get it yet? Why 9? I like that question. Why 9? That's a good question. I thought you was going to put up the answer for 60 million times 9. You know what I'm saying? Well, why 9? Okay, it's a good question. Why 9? Well, that's a good question. Why they do it 9s? Perhaps they do it more and don't tell us. I don't know. Who knows? But it has a lot to do with the whole economic structure in terms of having a certain amount accessible so that if there's a bank run, that folks can get money. However, if everybody go at the same time, the bank all closed down because they won't have enough. So I had something to do with to maintain that position. That's what it's about. To maintain that position in terms of having money if somebody comes to get money out of the bank. But if everybody go to the bank at the same time and demand their money that they deposited, they don't have it. They have to shut the door. $2,700. That's right. That's right, Empress. It's $2,700 the bank is going to make as a result of your $300 deposit, but you don't get access to that money. So, with the prices of the supermarket, you are going to have to put some more money with that. That's a fact. That is a fact, Beverly. That is a fact. I don't know what they came with this $300. See, the thing is, you got to understand the psychosis here again. Why 300? Because that ain't money. That ain't no money at all. At all. Not at these prices. No, it is. I thought you said, what's 9 times 3? Well, technically I did. I got you covered. Don't worry. I got you covered. Hold on. Somebody said it. $540 million, man. They about to create out the blue. 540 million out the blue. I wonder if they're going to loan that money to somebody for hotel development in the north. Because I don't think they ever say where they was getting money from. But anyhow, 5 plus 4. That's right. That's right. Science. I give thanks. Plant seeds, man. All we can do is plant the seeds, man. But the Barbados money limits you within Barbados. That money is useless outside of Barbados. Well, that's the thing though, Sean, right? I agree. Don't get me wrong. I agree. But you got to understand though, Barbadians, some folks might decide that they're going to take that money and now look to buy stuff on Amazon. You got to turn that Beijing money into foreign exchange. You got to exchange it. So there's not everybody would do that, but there are folks who might want to do different things. Some folks may want to try put it on their account and try. Like, there's no telling how people are going to spend this $300. I don't know. 3 is such a powerful number. Indeed. They can buy food and keep it long. Listen, Clark, I up and out, man. I up and out, man. Or they can buy votes. Buying the votes, that's all it is. Buy the votes. She can't set her thugs because she got caught out for that. So another avenue. Well, it's a clever strategy. Unfortunately, it's very transparent to those who have eyes as well. So can't trick the people. Cannot trick the people, man. That money needs to go into Treasury to pay off the slaves that from the IMF and this other criminal banks. Listen, speaking of IMF, I mean, let's put this real quick here. You strike a chord there, man. So y'all aware of this while we at it real quick. Let me just drop this in between here as well. How can I do this? Do it like this. Barbados to end second successive IMF program. Now, when you keep hearing that Barbados borrowing this money, paying it off, borrowing money, paying off, what is the first thing that comes to mind, family? When you hear this information, what is the first thing that comes to mind? He said, Baba said to take the $500 and create generational wealth. He didn't say that. Alibaba said to Alibaba, 40 thieves, huh? I ain't even touching it. No shame. Trick and trade. When you hear this, Sean said devaluation. Barbados money does not have to devalue itself. It has inflated itself. And therein lies the trick. Whereas other countries like Guyana has devalued their money, so they have a lot more money for a lot less goods. We have a lot less money for a lot less goods. So, you know what I'm saying? We have a lot less money for a lot less goods. So that's the other way around. But when you hear this, Sean, what I hear, right, is, and that's a good point, the valuation. What I hear, right, is that Barbadians are being overtaxed. Because I feel you, Sean, don't get me wrong, but what I'm hearing, man, you keep paying off these big loans like so quick. Like, really? The only way you could do that is to squeeze water out the rocks. Apparently, these rocks ain't rocks, they're sponges. They just got a lot of money, I'm telling you. So, we can get you back on the plantation. The aim right now, family, is to put you back a few generations economically. Barbadians are accumulating too much wealth. So, we got to find a way, we got to devise a way to take it from you. So, we're going to take it from the credit union next. We took it from the national insurance. That money gone. So we're going to borrow money to pay back the money we borrowed to invest that we lost, that we couldn't pay back, that we gave away, and we wrote off. So we're going to borrow more and keep borrowing more to let it accumulate again. We're going to take it again. In the meantime, credit union got money sitting down as deposits. Well, guess what? We're going for that. As far as I'm concerned, your credit union money is already gone. So those who know will draw theirs out gradually so that they don't lose when the hammer drop. And those who don't know, we'll just collect the 10% insurance the 25% insurance money off the account that has been looted. So that's my take on that, family. IMF, aka enslave mankind forever with slave terms. Serious. Devaluation means less purchasing power. Well, that's funny, Sean, because despite you got 300 days to market, my man, you still got less purchasing power. Prices high enough, big man. Servitude, man. I telling you. Correct. Agree with you. It's a fact, family. First question is, how we paying it off? How everybody in Breck, that's why he's saying who giving us the next loan? Same IMF. Anyone said more taxes? Guess what? We already being overtaxed as it is. I mean, think about the amount of money they make off of, what was it? At the pump. You don't pay road tax anymore, so you pay at the pump. But the guy was saying fishermen who don't be on the road shouldn't got to pay road tax for getting diesel to run their boats on the ocean. So that money cannot go into the road tax coffers because it ain't for the road. So when the boatmen go and buy diesel at the station where they get the, because you don't buy gas, but you might buy fuel for a jet ski for the gas station. Perhaps. Small doses. Them boats out there in the water though, with that pump out there in the water, they know that diesel going in the boat to go out to sea. So I guess they figure, well, in case the boatman get clever and he pump some off and put in the car, it's like, come on, man. We can charge the boatman road tax, gasoline. Anyhow, taxation, man. More taxation. Pure taxation. Oh my God, I was saying that she heading for union. No, that money gone, Thelma. And I don't get me wrong. Miss Motley has a habit of doing things and then telling you. I have not seen her. Before she came in, she would tell you because she wasn't in. Now she tells you, but if you check it, it usually is already a done deal or in the process. So when she spoke about there's over $1 billion in deposits in the credit unions in Barbados, she said over. Over can mean 1.1 billion or 1.9 billion. Borderline 2. So what I'm saying is that, which by the way is a lot of numbers. And to put it in perspective, real quick, my mathematicians here, Sean, do me a favor real quick. Let me pull this down. Pull that down. I have a math equation before I go. What time is it? Okay, this is the last thing I'll say and I'll go. To put it in perspective, how many days is a million seconds? A million seconds is how many days? That's just an equation. So for those who are not skilled in math, let me walk you through it. So first you got to do is recognize that there's 24 hours in a day, right? 24 hours in a day. So then, and 24 hours, each hour has 60 minutes, and each minute has 60 seconds. So that's 60 seconds times 60 times 24. That should give you the correct amount of seconds in a day, right? Then you could divide it backwards. You probably should divide it backwards. Do it backwards. I'm sorry to confuse you. Rather than trying to multiply it up to find a million, take a million and then divide it by the same equation, breaking it down. And I'm not doing it in my head because I'm talking while I'm telling you this. And so, well, boy, somebody quick to the draw. Wow, wait a minute. I got some real bright people here. Oh my gosh. If I comprehend the Barbados, it's a standby agreement, simply a guidance to getting back on the right financial track. I don't stand by agreement. I don't even sure what that means. You have to come and explain that to me a little bit more in detail. The greatest money heist. You stop playing. She has the IMF on speed dial. Clearly, I think, but anyway, I'm coming to it. And Zimbabwe, everybody is a trillionaire, but a poor trillionaire. I can imagine. The head of the central bank put the information out here. The head of the central bank is compromised. The head of the central bank is compromised. Hold on. 11 days. Okay, somebody say 11 days. Somebody say 11.5. Close enough. 11 days. Okay. So now there's my question. So 1 million seconds is 11 days. How many days is 1 billion seconds? 1 billion seconds. Bajans don't like nobody mess with their money, so all hell game break out. Gonna be, well, I don't know if it can break out or not. I telling you, Barbadians, it's in the water, man. It's in the water. The only common denominator in Barbados is the water. I'm not saying that they're passive. I'm not saying that they're hold on now. I get 15.7. So that's 15 years, correct? That's 15.7 years. Hold on, it can't be 11. It can't be 11 days. It can be 11. Because don't forget, you got to convert now these seconds from days now to years. How many days is 1 billion seconds? Don't forget that 1 million is 11 days. And if 1 million is 11 days, then 100 million, you see where I'm going? Let me go down slow. 11 days is 1 million. So 10 million would be how many days? See where I'm going with this already? 11 tens are how much? I went to school. Right. So that's 110. So this is almost like 110. How many months is that? So once you start getting to 100 million years, 100 million days, you start getting to years now. So 1 billion would be years. So if 1 million is 11 days and 1 billion seconds is, I ain't calculated. Somebody do the math. He said 1 billion seconds is 11 days. Hold on. Oh, wait. Let me go back to it. So we're doing math class here tonight for those who like math. A lot of folks done logged off. Math, not me, them numbers, Emmanuel like gone. Yeah, see you tomorrow. I get my bed. They got work to go to in the morning. No, hold on. You said days, not years. Well, yes, I said days, but in truth, once you pass 360 days, it's best to round it to the nearest. So convert it to years and then the remainder. So it's 11,000. I know. I can work it out. Okay, let me see what's going on here. Let me see who brave here, man. You said days, not years. I know I said days, but I know that a billion seconds is going to produce years. I do know that. So we got 11,574 days. Days. Okay. So how much? Okay, is that what? Is that a billion seconds? A billion seconds is 11 days. My bad. I thought that's what you ate. Wait, hold on. My bad. I thought that's what you said. I guess you said. I'm missing. All right, so hold on. 10 million seconds is 11. Wait, hold on. 10. Wait, hold on. That's not 10. I guess this will be 10. 10 million seconds is 11. Is 100. Wait, hold on. What's this number here now? 115,740 days. Is that what that is? I don't know if that's what that is. I think a digit is there that's kind of missing. But just to put it in perspective, right? Numbers is a language of the universe. Let's talk about it later. I like that. No problem. You know my number. My number on the screen. Give me a call. I dare you. Let me work this out. 1 billion seconds, 31 year. Okay, so the elder stepped up and saved us all. Give thanks to the elder. 1 billion seconds, 31 years. I'm trusting that that's correct. Google is tripping. Somebody say Google tripping tonight. Stop it. Y'all stop it. Look, somebody go on Chat GPT, man. The elder, look, another elder said it again. 31. Okay, so we're talking about 31 years. Elder Roy got it. Yeah, he got it. It's correct. 31 years. So a million seconds is a couple of days. Let's go with 11. It might be wrong. I don't know. My point is that a billion in comparison, we're talking 30-something years in comparison to days. My point for saying that was that Barbadians don't understand. I don't know if we understand these numbers in terms of a million here or a billion here. They wrote off $1 billion. $1 billion is enough. Just to put it in perspective, like time, like I said, a million seconds, so that you can, a million sounds like a lot of money. A million seconds in comparison to a billion. You're talking day and night, man. And so we got to pay attention to what these folks are doing with the banks and whatnot, these IMF and whatnot. This debt is going to be hanging on the necks of our children, on our children's children, whether they're on standby or otherwise, because they're kicking the can down the road. Miss Motley said it herself. She told me that herself. Personally speaking, if I don't think the children should go out and pay for some what they get in today. My position is no. Because in reality, the same system we are saying that we should be paying the support is the same system that exploited the people that saying they have to pay the support. The system owes the people far more than they could ever gain from the people. It's time the tables turn. So if y'all can't do it, if you as a prime minister, Ms. Motley, don't know how to do it, but step aside, let somebody else do it. The country will still be uplifted with all the good works that you're doing. But what would be more important is that it would be empowering the people of Barbados rather than the plantocracy that you seem to right now be focusing on entirely. So what I'm suggesting is that if you don't know how to get it done, step aside, for the sake of the nation, for the sake of the nation. And if Keith Rowley could step down as prime minister because of the crime in Trinidad, what happened to the attorney general? There's no integrity whatsoever in this country. I think the problem is, right, family, that we are outgoverned. We won't step up enough. Not enough of us won't step up that can step up to make it happen. So, we got to do what we got to do, man. And that's just my position. Anyhow, having said that, it's going on 2 hours. That wasn't the plan, but I give thanks for those who stayed and, lend their energy and synergy and comments and, vibrations. I give thanks. We got to start looking at the economic aspect of Barbados and the region. Start by focusing on you, deal with you, balance yourself, your family, your community, plant food. Get with somebody who planting food, work with the people in the community who planting food. Let me go from there, all right? Give thanks. So, yes, family, it's that time. We out of here. We out of here. We out of here.
Real news for the people in real time.
Yes. Anyhow, family, I got to drop a tune. I was saying 2/3 majority and can't make legislation for the people. The people don't know how the system works or should work. And that is it right there. The elder came back 11 seconds is equivalent to 11.754 days. Right. So we was going to get it. We was going to get it. Give thanks, elder. We got real mathematicians right here. Look, I bet he could run a better system here in terms of economics, man. Finally, look, the problem is that we make the assumption that these lawyers, most of them are lawyers, are better equipped to run a country. You know why? Because the lawyers is who write laws. You get it? But they're the same ones that we should avoid when it comes to running countries. Well, they can run a country. We got to stop. We got to build a nation, family. This is the difference between a country and a nation here. They use the word interchangeably to trick you. We have a country being ran as a nation because the nation doesn't have a government. I'm going to say it again. We have a country that's ran as a nation because the nation doesn't have a government. So the people who claim to be the government are the government of the country, and they're correct. Absolutely correct. But the people are the government of the nation. The problem is the nation doesn't have a government to interact with the government of the country, and therefore the country is squatting on your nation, on your land, on your inheritance, and you don't have a clue because you suspect that the country who is being run by the government of that country, which basically means the board. The government is the board. The corporation is the country, and they're the board, and they're right now basically squatting on your land because they ain't paying you no rent for doing it. In fact, they got you as a tenant in your own house that they're managing. Collecting rent from you, but you ain't getting the profit. All right, that wasn't the plan tonight. I'm getting too far with this thing. Not tonight, man. Eventually we can talk them things, man. Right now, man, folks just got to realize that is meat, man, and the Barbadian people need milk. That's why I don't really get on them roads, right? But we got to realize, family, we can't keep playing this game. Can't keep playing it, man. Guyana is obvious to the world right now. Stay focused. Let the Caribbean watch and learn from Guyana at this point. Because this happening in Guyana, this can happen anywhere. So we can't let this go down like this. We got to nip this in the bud. Straight. Give thanks for the elder. 11 is the number of the night. I received that, family. In fact, that go along with your number. That go along with your number, 11. I see it, 1111, right? Yeah, you used to call me when you get off the live direct. Merchant laws, by the way. Facts, all merchants, they're all merchants, old pirate, etymology, nation, government, right versus right, corporation versus island, etc. Let's talk later. Wait, but you see, it's crazy, man. I just said that. I didn't realize you typed that. But that's how the universe works, so we know what time it is. Receive it. Black said you have to talk about them things. Yes, I know. In fact, to be honest, at this point, the whole thing is to segue. Because one thing I have learned from my experience out in the field when I was first gaining knowledge, I was so eager to teach and tell everybody. I would literally run and tell everybody. The truth is, you can't get a man meat when he need milk. You know what I mean? You got to, even the Bible says that. You got to start at the beginning with people, man. And the way you start at the beginning is to know thyself. It don't make no sense me telling you about what they call straw man, all that kind of stuff, and you ain't know who you are. It's because you can't be sovereign on a piece of paper. It's a consciousness. That when you walk in a room with other similar beings that you have felt and you could feel, so you know where you at. You see what I'm saying? So you ain't got to declare certain things. You ain't got to produce you got to produce ID. Your energy speak for you. They know who in the room with them. Inshallah, mashallah. That's my line. I'm out of here, family. We need a tune at this point, man. We need a big tune, man. We need a big tune to close out the night. Or closing him for the evening service. We need a tune, family. I was gonna play this video right here. I gonna still do it, man. I gonna do it. I gonna do it. I gonna do it. I gonna do it. This is the video I said, Rhonda, this was from Brother Muhammad in Guyana. This brother right here, I first saw him on that Christmas list video. This gentleman right here in Guyana, driving a Lamborghini through the, guess what they call the projects or what they call the ghetto with all the black folks. I don't know this guy here. I don't know who he is. I don't know much about him. I first, like I said, noticed him then, but I noticed him a lot in a lot of videos with this situation. And, you know, he's obviously a person of interest in Guyana. I don't know who he is, but he apparently met this lady a while ago, not long ago, I should say, a mother, and she was separated from her family. She lost her house in a fire and that kind of stuff. And so, you know, he reached out to help her, I guess. And I guess he went and, you know, built a house for her. I guess he's but I don't know if he's a I don't know. Like I said, I don't know him, but he gave her a house. And anyhow, so, but I won't play the audio. I just let it run through. And so she's all overwhelmed, as you can see this, and they're talking and she's saying thanks and stuff. And, you know, I don't know if he's a future president of Guyana or not. Maybe he'll start the campaign. I don't know. I suspect that most likely. I don't know. But what I'm saying though is that this is my issue right here. In an oil-rich country like Guyana, right? And there are folks who got paper to spare. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. And she's here, you know, with her family. Let me go forward a bit more. You got the whole family, and she's really thankful, and I'm really happy for her. Like, I'm in the family. We're separated. I showed the brother good works. But there's my issue. There's my issue. There's my issue right here. Now, and I only say issue because I suppose I don't think like that. But I suppose thank you, you know, gratitude. Anything is better than nothing, right? And I guess I'm gonna hear all that right now. Manny will, you know. But man, what I tired of seeing, right? What I tired of seeing, right, is this. I don't know the building standards for Guyana. I don't know. What I do know is that if you want to stop a plant from growing, you keep it in a small pot. And I'm not saying that you need to sprawl out the house and all this kind of thing. But I'm just saying that man, the house is probably 20 feet wide by maybe, they didn't show the length of it. I don't know if that was deliberate, but I'm looking at the columns underneath the house. And if the columns underneath is any indication to the columns in the front, the width as well. Like, those who know construction, who know about construction, that's a 3-foot window in front of the house. It's a 3-foot window in front of the house. And therefore, the space on either side is equivalent to the window, more or less. Maybe 4 or 4 is 8. At best, maybe 3. I know. I you know. I don't know if it's 11, 22 feet wide. I don't know. My point is that I don't know. If this brother right here could drive a Lamborghini and a Ferrari, all this kind of fancy stuff, you got paper. And if you got paper, I just say, man, you gotta stop. Man, look, man, let me leave this alone, because I'm happy for the family. I am happy for the family. I think the brother did a good thing. Don't get me wrong. He looked out for the family, brought it back together, the whole family. That's a good thing. I just think that if the hurricane passed through Guyana, this house is a done deal. You know what I'm saying? That's all I say. I think if he could have done better, he could have done better one time. Get you a little brick house, man, a little strength. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was on tilt, she could build on a little later on when the children get a little older, got a little space to go. Because them is big children. If there's only a 2-bedroom house, 3-bedroom house, it can be a little rough. But I get to work it out and figure it out, I suppose. But boy, look, I don't know, boy. Maybe just my mindset. I don't know. That's just me. Anyhow, family, I hope for the night, man. I hope, man. I hope, man. That's my thoughts. What are your thoughts on that, man? So leave the people and the politics alone. You're right, man. Totally right. Leave them alone. I just think we got to stop. We got to stop being somebody else charity case. We got to start doing for ourselves, family. That's all I say, man. That's all I say, man. Guyana got all the lumber in the world, right? All the lumber in the world, and we still in that position, man. Bauxite, aluminum, all kind of stuff going on. I mean, Guyana got so many resources. So many resources. I mean, Guyana full of resources. Enough resources, man. We should be in that position. Anyhow, Empress, I heard you loud and clear. And having said that, wait. Let me just put that on the right. Armageddon. Show up to Armageddon, man. And it's last the first Empress was there, man.
Sizzler Kalanji.
One person.
Collywood's. You know, collabo extraordinaire. We're living in serious times. Watch out.
Oh, it's a madman world that we're living in. Gotta keep your heads up high. You can't be giving in. Don't you let one day go by without praising the Most High. Cause it's the only way we ever will survive. It's a madman world that we're living in. What's wrong with us? Gotta keep your heads up high. You can't be giving in. Don't you let one day go by without praising the Most High. Cause it's the only way we ever will survive.
Rough life, rough crime, you them had a hard time. No guides, no sign, walking on a thin line. Sentence, no trial, victim of a profile. No hope, more fight, wonder why we hostile. Cause profit, make profit, focused on their pocket. White collar, false stocket, door hoping, can't lock it. Politics, equal economic tricks. Debt toll rising, cess commercializing, barely surviving, future jeopardizing, no compromising, hope paralyzing, rules need revising. Why is it surprising?
Got to eat the warning. See the storms are forming. Not the time for stalling. Look around, it's so appalling. It's a mad world that we living in. Gotta keep your heads up high. Can't be giving in. Don't you let one day go by without praising the Most High. Cause it's the only way we ever will survive. It's a mad world that we living in. Gotta keep your heads up high. Can't be giving in. Don't you let one day go by without praising the Most High. Cause it's the only way we ever will survive.
Mothers on welfare, what about Medicare, ethnic cleansing?
I know that you answered this one here, so I gotta give it to you, Pedro. It's only right. Have a great night. You don't like on Friday. I like this kid there. I write this up for the evening. Not nothing. That's right.
Prophecies say, what you sow, you shall surely reap. Judge not, lest you be judged, that you may not be judged. So do good, and good will follow you.
Yeah, the
For
McGregor.
what you sow, you shall surely reap.
Yeah, then.
Judge not, lest you be judged. By Rastafari up above. Cause you can't judge an apple by looking at the tree. You can't judge no honey by looking at the bee. You can't judge a mother by looking at a daughter. Then you can't judge the book by looking at its cover. So do good.
Do good.
And good will follow you.
Yes,
Prophets
yes,
say
people.
what you sow, you shall surely reap. Judge not, lest you be judged.
Be upful, family. Be joyful, family.
By Rastafari up above.
Enjoy the rest of your week, family. Make it a strong one. Do good for somebody, family.
Your children can suffer.
The best that you can. Remember the widow's mite, right?
We can must suffer.
It's not about Lamborghinis, man. Ferraris. You see, man. I ain't saying the dog get here, but I just saying, right, you know.
Say you can't judge an apple by looking at the tree. You can't judge no honey by looking at the bee. You can't judge a mother by looking at the daughter. Then you can't judge no book by looking at its cover. So
Karaoke style, man.
and good will follow you. Prophecy say, what you sow, you shall surely reap. Judge not, lest you be judged.
Amen, amen, amen. Yes, give thanks, family. Big tune, man. We're going to let that one right out there again. I might even get another McGregor. Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can pull that one up, Pedro. So you can get another one, man. We get another one. Can't just get one, Freddie. Can't just get one, Freddie. Like, let this one play out, though. As a people, right, family? Hold on a minute. Let me just, yeah. As a people, right? Let me get this part in note. As a people, we got to reach the point where we stop begging and start to do for each other the way we could do for each other, because we could do it. We could do it. We did it already, so we could do it again. So this goes out to all my Caribbean people, especially all my people around the world, but definitely Caribbean people, Caribbean origin, because we look down on, they look down on Africa, but people just sleep on the Caribbean, man. They sleep on the Caribbean. They call me third world, fourth world, all kind of thing. But you see me? Hello, mom. Yeah. That me start dancing, huh? It's all good.
I remember the times when we used to sit in the park, holding hands together. I never should have gone away and left you like I did, girl. I thought you'd take me back, but I was just a little bit late. I was born a winner. I know I am, yes I am. Oh, yeah. I was born a winner. My lonely days and my lonely nights, girl, on the outside looking in, dreaming of holding you tight. Well, I guess I've had my day. You let me go my way. It's me who has to pay. A loser they call me, but now I'm a winner. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I was born a winner.
Born a winner, family.
I know I am. Yes, I am.
Please don't, Brad.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I can't pull out tune one. Shout out to Jackie, because I didn't see Jackie for the night, but I know Jackie would have tell me, Emmanuel, you got to pull that tune. You got to listen, fam. That's what that is, born winners, man. Born winners. Born winners. Born winners, man. Born winners, man. Fucking wrong side of you. That's the good one. You can't see our. Born winners, man. Get rid of fear. Left, right.
I remember the times when we used to sit in the park, holding hands together. I never should have gone away and left you like I did, girl. I thought you'd take me back, but I was just a little bit late.
I'll be getting forever, man.
I was born a winner.
That's all, buddy.
Yes, I